Greetings. I'm going to share some initial design ideas on handling and managing messages in the estate application. Um, I'm going to focus more on um, how to access the message and the flow to access the message versus actually creating the messages. Uh, just real quick on creating the messages, I see creating the messages either directly by going into the messages button here. And by the way, this message button will be visible to both the project owner in their version of the user interface and then also the vendor in their version of the user interface. So both will have this same messages button. So um, so I see being able to create any new messages by clicking into this messages button and then going into this respective project and then channel and then typing the message. I also see creating messages in a context specific manner. So for example, if I'm a vendor and I'm looking at a new bid that's come across, from the project owner, and let's say I'm inside looking at the bid and I have a question that pops up, I definitely would like to have a place directly inside the bid where I can go in and actually type my message directly in the bid and send that message to the project owner, is versus having to exit out of the bid request, go into the messages area, and then find the project or probably the job if I was the vendor, and then selecting the channel. So, but for now, let's just say that messages have been created. So in this scenario, let's say that I'm looking at this application from the perspective of the project owner. I've created a project and I've sent it out for a bid or for bids. So let's say that the vendor, Specialty Inspections, just one of many vendors, they looked at the bid request and they had a question regarding a home inspection. So they went in and they typed in their message, and we'd have to have a way, at least in the bid response screen, for them to say that, hey, this message is specific to home inspection. Maybe there's a place where they could kick it off inside the app or denote that it's for home inspection. So in any event, they send the message across, and now as the project owner, I would get, it would show up here in the app as a new message. So that's why I see the number 1 there with the red light. I might as well also be alerted through text message or email or a basically pop-up notification, within my mobile device. So I'll go ahead now and click into the messages section. So now, as you can see, there's 2 possible ways for me to view my messages. In this view here, I'm going to have this be the default view when I select on the messages. This is effectively all of the messages that I've received across all projects, all vendors, and all channels. So it's basically just everything here in one big long scroll. And the reason I have this is I wanted to make it as easy as possible for the person that is going into the message to get into the message quickly. If they have to go in by project, then they have to click on the project. Then they have to click on the channel. So they have to do multiple clicks to get down there. This method here just puts the most recent questions or messages that come in to the top, and then obviously as they get answered, you see the lights or the little dots will go away. The other thing that I did here is I've grouped the messages together by vendor, by project, and by channel. And again, this is the view perspective from the project owner. So, so essentially, you could have multiple messages for the 261 Spring Street project for the home inspections from Specialty Inspections. So when I click this link here, This just drops down all the messages that have been back and forth between the project owner and specialty inspections regarding the home inspection at 261 Spring Street. Um, the design here is very similar to Slack, where the most recent message is at the bottom here. And obviously I'd have this lit up because I haven't accessed it yet. And then as the responder, in this case, I would be the project owner. I can type my message response here. And then I just included most of the buttons that they have for adding, video, audio, pictures, and then whatnot. I also think it would be cool if we had a button here to, so you could basically click to call. So if you wanted to instead not type a message, but call, in this case, if I wanted to call specialty inspections directly, I would hit a button and it would, start a call from my phone. I think that would be pretty cool. So curious to see what you think about grouping the messages together in this fashion. Again, all the most recent messages that come in would be rolled up to the top. And then as I respond and as I look at the messages, then the obviously the red light would go away. So that is one way to view the messages. The other way to view messages would be by project. And this is how the Estate app is set up now. So we sort of have a top line view. So in this case, I see there was a message. I go into my projects and I see, oh, the message that I got was under my project, the 261 Spring Street. So here's what I'm saying. I have to like drill down to get to the message. It's for a home inspection. Now, in this case, I could have drilled down even further by vendor. And we might actually go ahead and do that because in this case, this level of detail that I'm looking at is a little different than what I saw before. What I saw before was messages specific for the 261 Spring Street project for home inspection with specialty inspections. This view here is any vendor could show up on this view. So I think we'll have to, this should be the same as how the messages are organized in all the messages here. So I might need to add another level to this, but then that makes, another level I got to drill down to get into the messages. But similar to the way I handled the message before, I can review the message, I can respond to it, and that is what I have so far on, organizing and accessing and responding to messages. So curious to get your thoughts on this.